Hi Circuit Riders. Before we dive into this week's video, I just wanted to give you a brief note about the audio quality in this and the next few videos. It's not great. For the past 4 years, I have been filming exclusively on an iPhone. I'm currently using an iPhone 15 Pro, which I love. I think the footage on it is great, and I've always been pretty happy with the audio quality of it, especially with the new features in Final Cut Pro. I can edit the audio, and I've been pretty happy with it. But I thought maybe I should up the audio quality a little bit, so I tried out a lapel mic from Amazon. It's just a cheap one that I got a couple of months ago, and I filmed a lot of footage with it. Now, when I first got the mic, I did test it and listen to it and thought that it sounded better. But now that I'm starting to edit all of that footage, I can tell that the quality of it is not as good as the iPhone microphone. It sounds very tinny, and I'm really disappointed in it. And I'm sorry that the next few videos, the audio quality is not going to be as good as it usually is. If you have any experience with lapel mics for vlogging, something that you can use on the go, in the wind, in and out of your pocket a lot, I would love for you to leave me a comment below and tell me what you like. I'd even be interested in, shelling out for a more expensive one if we can improve the quality. But anyway, just want to give you that note. I know the audio is not going to be great, but we'll just go ahead with what we've got, and that'll be fine. So this week we are heading to Yosemite National Park. We're going to start out with a little audio tour that we found while we were driving up to Yosemite. That was a great introduction to the area. So I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to beautiful Merced County and the historic Highway 140, also known as the Yosemite Highway. Traveling through the Great Central Valley, you will see several of the crops that have made California famous the world over and as the grocer to the world. Much of this land became the famous Del Monte Plantation. At one time, it was the largest peach orchard in the world. There were also thousands of acres of figs.
Almonds are grown throughout the Central Valley and are one of the most important commodities grown here. In Merced County, we have over 90,000 acres, or 36,400 hectares of the popular nut. Almonds are grown in very few places in the world because they need a warm growing season and a winter cool enough for the trees to be dormant but not freeze.
Just pulled over to the side of this turnoff to give our brakes a little rest. We're going to go down the steep side of the mountain now, and the brakes are smelling a little bit, so we'll just pull over and give it a rest. Now, RV Life, which is the Trip Wizard program, we use their GPS app RV Life in addition to Google Maps to map our routes. And RV Life really does not want us to go this way. Understandably, it's very, very hilly, though I don't think any route up to Thousand Trails Yosemite Lakes would be much better. It's all through the mountains here. But at the bottom of this hill is a bridge that goes across the river, and it really doesn't want us to go that way. It wants us to turn around and go way, way out around. But Google Maps says to go that way, and it's a state Route 49. So I don't think that, it's a cement bridge. It looks fine. We're going to get down there and see what we think. If we have to turn around, we turn around. But oftentimes we find that following Google Maps is just as good as RV Life. Now, when you're in the east coast of the United States, what you really have to watch out for is low overpasses. There's a lot of low historical bridges in the east, and that's mostly what we're concerned about with Google Maps. Doesn't always take into account how high your rig is. RV Life does. But here in the west, where everything is so wide open and there's not low historical bridges like that, we often just go with whatever Google Maps says. RV Life wanted you to turn right here and turn around.
What do you think?
Nice. No problem. Whenever we're driving through steep mountains like this, I always feel like we're in the Mickey Mouse cartoon about the camper that they took through the mountains and it goes off the side of the mountain and they have to pull it back on. Yeah, there's a picnic table here, so you gotta come this way more. Stop. I think that jack will come down good before it slopes off. Nice. We don't usually get to show you the whole back end process because I'm usually on my phone talking to Jason up there, but there's no cell phone signal here at Yosemite Lakes Thousand Trails, so we're just yelling back and forth. We're excited to come up to Yosemite National Park today in Eastern California. This is a last-minute change for us. We were supposed to be at 1,000 Trails down near Monterey, California this week, and about a week ago, they had some electrical issue and closed down the entire park and canceled our reservation. So this is the second time this has happened to us with a California 1,000 Trails that for some reason the park closed down, our reservation was canceled. So we called Thousand Trails and said, what do you have available anywhere in Central California? And they had Yosemite Lakes open. At first we were thinking, oh, it's going to be really cold up there. There was a blizzard warning on the day that we were looking at it. Some of the roads were closed up here, but it was literally the only 1,000 Trails that had availability. So I called the campground the next day after the storm, and they said, you know, the storm didn't really hit us too bad. We're open. We have utilities. Everything's fine. And today, you know, it's sunny in the mid 40s. We're going to have a great day. Now, I'm a little surprised to see these lines of cars here. It's not a long line of cars, and you don't need a reservation to get into Yosemite until after April 13th, I think. So it's early March right now, so we don't need a reservation. But I really wasn't expecting anyone to be here this early in the shoulder season. So very interesting. We got our America the Beautiful Pass, going to save us $35 entrance fee. Wow, the parking is really full here at Bridalveil Falls. And tons of people. I'm so surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. So we're taking a little walk around Yosemite Village. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that Yosemite Village is not where people live. It's more of a museum, shops, historical displays kind of center. I think there are some national park employees that might live here because there's a school for employees' children here. There's a post office here. So I think it's different than Grand Canyon Village, which we visited a few weeks ago. Grand Canyon seemed to have a lot more rental homes, individual homes, a real grocery store, and you know, community center, and like people actually lived there. But I get the sense that Yosemite Village is something different. So we're just going to walk through here and then head over to Sentinel Bridge, which the ranger recommended to us as a short hike. I was saying to Jason that when we were driving in here through that beautiful drive and through the snow and the mountains and everything, that Yosemite seems like a really
great driving park. And then I realized, you know what, every national park is a great driving park. We always have great scenic drives when we go to national parks. And I was just thinking about people who have mobility issues or are not really athletic, they're not big hikers or anything. You can still get a lot out of the national parks just by driving through and visiting the visitor center and you know, getting out of your car and looking at beautiful scenery. So I would encourage you, if you think that national parks are just for people who are very active and athletic and stuff, that's not the case. And you know, I'm not a big hiker. I like to go for little walks, but a mile and a half, that's about as far as I want to go. I'm not gonna like hike for hours up into the mountains or anything. So I really appreciate when national parks have different levels of activity that you can participate in. I've always loved Ansel Adams' nature photography, and I was excited to see this Ansel Adams gallery here. Turns out that this building has a great history. It was built in 1902 by Henry and Ann Best. They were the first studio photographers here at Yosemite. And Ansel Adams first visited Yosemite in 1916, where he met their daughter, Virginia, and married her in this building, 1928. So Ansel has a long history with Yosemite. He's got family here. He brought his family back here every summer and did tons of nature, national park photography. So I was real interested to see this building. Here's a ring of a giant sequoia tree. You can see how big it is compared to Jason. And almost 1,000 years old.
No, it's more than that. This is 8923.
Oh, wow.
And there's more of that. This is back when Abraham Lincoln signed the grant and when it became a park.
So there was a Native American tribe who lived in Yosemite before it was made into a national park. And there is a lot of displays around here with Native American history and a nice interpretive village here. Now, you know that I love a good national park video, informational video telling the history of the park and how it came to be. The video for Yosemite is not in the visitor center like they usually are. Within the Yosemite Village, there's a theater and like Yosemite Welcome Center and museum and stuff, and it's back in there, but it was a really good video. Some of the more major roads through Yosemite are closed in the winter. I think they open around April, but there's still plenty to do if you just go park at the main visitor center at Yosemite Valley. We've been, you know, the Yosemite Village and kind of the valley walks, and there's plenty of hikes that you can do just right from the visitor center. So.
When they keep that one main road open, barring like a snowstorm, they have to close it briefly.
The one we came in on?
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, we came in on Big Oak Flats Road, and that was open right now. Last week it was closed for a little bit because of that big snowstorm, but today it's beautiful.
Well, thanks for coming along to Yosemite with us this week. We were so pleasantly surprised. And like I said, this was just a last minute change in our schedule. We were so happy to be able to collect another national park. So until next week, I hope you have a great week, and I hope you get outside and explore outside your door. I know I haven't said that for a long time, but it's really true that no matter where you are, there's something to explore, and I hope you can get out. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.